loved it.
Oh my God. You guys.
Thank you for sending this, by the way.
So
It's so
sweet.
cute.
You're welcome.
How did you make that? Oh my God. I was like, this is so, when I opened it up, I was like, this is like the cutest thing because it had like all the books we read throughout the year. And I was like, oh, this is like a good like memento.
I'm so glad you liked
That
it.
is cute. Did you mail it to us? I haven't checked in a few days.
Yeah. You're the furthest down, Julie, so it might still be on its way.
Thank you, though. That's cute.
You're welcome.
USDS has been really slow. I've gotten like a lot of Christmas cards like just yesterday. Like I feel like everything's taking a long time. So
Yeah.
I sent mine late, but I think things are taking a long time. I sent something from Morgan Hill to Gilroy, and it's like a 10-minute drive. And they were like, it will arrive on Monday. And I was like, okay. But it's all right. Eileen, what are you laughing at?
My dad is deciding to my dad and my sister are having a full-on conversation, and I'm like, we're having this meeting, and they're just like weedy, and then they start talking about verses, and I'm just like,
because you know how it
oh
says
my God.
meeting is recording now, and then my dad se persinó like if it's Bible study, and then he's like empezando like verses whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but okay, now we're done with interruptions. What did we think of the book? Who cried?
I didn't.
I definitely got teary, like choked up, but not necessarily wanting to cry.
Girl, so how about Crystal, right after the meeting, was freaking calling me, FaceTiming me. She's like, oh, you have to get to this page. I need to talk about it. You have to get to this page. I think because she had that like whole emotion and expression, she's like, you have to read. I think it took away from my feelings that when I got to the part, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, it's all right. And she was so devastated. She was like, oh my God. That was wow. And I was like, yeah, it's all right.
Which part?
It was like right at the beginning.
It's when Atlas tells her, like in the future, if by some miracle you ever find yourself in the position to fall in love again, fall in love with me.
309.
And I was like,
She told me, read up to 309. And then when I finally got to that part, she was talking about the future. And I was like, that's none of the things you're talking about now relate to what you told me to read. So I was like, oh my goodness. But it was funny because her reaction was like, oh my God, that was beautiful. And I was like, I do wish someone said that to me. That would be beautiful. But Crystal was almost crying.
Yes, and then actually I'm lying because there was another time. It's when she was having the conversation with her mom, and she was saying how, like, you know, when you choose to say every single time, you kind of tell yourself like, well, I've lasted this long, I can last a little longer. And it just kept like chipping at her. But just the way that she said it, I just thought it was so sad. And I was like, oh. So like it kind of like, I think that's like when, I don't know, I just got super emotional. I want to see if there's any other.
Yeah, the part that got me was actually like at the very end when I was reading how the author kind of based it upon her own life. That's the part where I was like, oh no, like, you know, keep it together. That part was more like gut-wrenching for me in a way, because I really was happy with how the story ended. I liked that the sister and the mom were both very supportive, because I know I was kind of worried about the sister in the past. And I like how Lily waited till the baby was born, and I think it was very clever of her to do it that way. I mean, it kind of happened naturally, but I think it was a good way to convince Ryle to just let go. I felt like Ryle letting go was kind of redeeming for him a little bit. And I think that it was a really good ending. But the very end where she was writing about, it was based on like her experience, I was like, oof, that was tougher to read.
Yeah, I think that's what, I mean, I had already said that I was going to give it a 5, but I think that's the thing that I was like, yeah, I'm not changing my reading because she made it personal, and because at the end, we were talking about how whether the mom was gonna say yes, stick with him, leave him, and I like that we got that, and then we also got the sister's perspective, and I just thought it was perfect, even until the end, because he's like, I would tell my daughter to leave, and the fact that she's like, okay, then this can never, we can never be together. It was sad for me, but it was the right thing to do.
But they were putting their feelings aside, and it was nice that they were thinking about their daughter rather than being selfish.
Which it kind of gave me the vibe of like La La Land, where it's not the ending you expect, but it's the right ending, or it's life, and it's not going to be perfect, and whether you like the outcome or not, like this is what it is. So
but the outcome was beautiful. They run into each other like a year later, and she's just like I'm ready. Like I'm like
I know that part was really cute when he's like, what did he say? He's like, oh, you can stop swimming now. We finally reached the shore. That's when I cried.
I was crying throughout. I don't even remember anymore.
I read it right away. A new sticker, just keep swimming.
Yeah. And then her middle name was
Dory. Oh my god. That one was funny. I was like, oh god. Of course.
Do you guys know Dory's voiced by Ellen DeGeneres as well?
Yes.
I think that's why.
Yeah, I think.
I think that's why.
It all went together, and I was like, wow, that was perfect. But poor child, I wouldn't want to be named Dory.
Yeah, person.
No, that's true. That's true.
At least it's a middle name.
Yeah.
Well, wait, what was her name? Like Emerson? I don't know about that.
Emerson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that either.
After the brother, right? The brother that got killed.
Yeah.
Was Emerson.
Yeah. That was kind of nice, but let's see.
I was kind of surprised that the mom was like, leave him, but I think that was good. And didn't she say like when she was tempted to like take him back, like when he was building the baby furniture, she kept thinking of what her mom said. That was like a really strong influence. That was good.
Overall, I thought it was beautifully written.
It was smooth.
I think I enjoyed this one more than Verity.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot more than Verity.
Strong agree. Yes.
Same.
I think
go ahead.
Oh, you first, please, Lola.
I really liked the progression and all of the themes, and I liked that, like what you guys were saying, that the mom and the sister were supportive, because I feel like in many other novels they probably wouldn't be, and maybe the author was trying to like give that to her character because maybe she didn't experience that as much. So I like that they gave her support, and it wasn't just like she'd already gone through so much, so she actually like gave the character like a happy ending, and she was able to like move through her trauma and everything. I only have one issue with it, and that is that, and this is probably just like a personal thing for me, but I hated Ralph in the beginning. Like from the very first moment I met him, I was like, this guy sucks. And so I wonder if, at least for me personally, whether it would have like hit harder if I actually like really liked the guy, because I was just like, oh my god, girl, like get away, he's terrible. And it just like felt like I didn't feel the chemistry or the connection there, and he felt very generic to me, and he didn't feel very interesting in any way. So like I still see that that she built his kind of aggression, and like that all like totally made sense, and like I could see the signs and everything, but I never was very enraptured or taken in with his character. So it was like, like for our character, she was like so torn and she loves him and everything. I never felt that very much. So it wasn't like heartbreaking. I was just like, oh my god, girl, like I know you're blinded, but like you need to get away. Versus like it was just like such a clear distinction between the two. And I wonder if he would have maybe been like more, I don't know, because I don't know what she could have done, or like, but I wonder if like he would have been, I don't know, if they would have had like a stronger connection, if maybe it would have been even more sad, because it just like felt like the obvious choice that she needed to get away from this guy. And I didn't feel the connection between them so much. That's like my only issue. But otherwise, I thought everything like was really well done, and I really like how she wrote it, and how she like we wove everything in, and the end with her personal story was just like, I'm really glad that she included that too, because I thought that was like really interesting. And the thing that was crazy was how she said that her father was still in her life even though all that happened, and that's pretty unique. So I thought I liked like most of it, but that was like my one critique. But I might be the only one that felt that way about him.
Because I was into it. I was like, oh my god. Which is why I was crying.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
I know they should not be together, but yeah.
I wanted to feel that way too. Like I wanted to feel that way too. I wanted to be like, oh my god, like if only he could get this under control, but I hated him. I was like, girl, you can do so much better.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's just rich. That's it.
Maybe it was like,
whatever.
Yeah.
maybe it was like part of the time lapse at the beginning, because like by the time she went to dinner with her mom when they saw Atlas, that was their first time going to dinner together, but she met him like a year before, and then a lot of the interactions were like him, you know, like that one time he kind of stalked her by trying to find her apartment. So I think like, I don't know.
Somehow I like that he went through all these rooms. I don't like what he said, but I like the whole action of like looking for her in every room based off what.
Because it's in some way romantic.
Yeah, except what he said.
In a twisted, disturbing way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different romance. Then
it's like something that always like I don't know, it's like every girl wants to be chased, right? Or at least most want to. And it's like I feel like that's kind of why it was like, you know, attractive. Like it was like coming after me.
I was gonna say something. I forgot.
I think I was too intrigued by Atlas, and because they seemed like they were going to end up together, especially with the tattoo and all the backstory. But I agree with you, Paola, that I didn't really like Ralph from the get-go. At the very beginning, like I was like, okay, maybe, but soon after, I'm just like, no, I do not like him strongly. And I just feel like this was a really good book to like end the year with, like a good, strong one. And what I was going to say too was, imagine if like Atlas had found her at a slightly different point, because I know he said when he went back to find her, she was dating someone, but that part I did feel really bad for him, because he went back on tour, he could have died or something, you know, as a Marine over there, but luckily he didn't. So I just feel like in a way, all the characters, despite what happened to them at the end, they were kind of lucky, because Raul was lucky that he was allowed back into his daughter's life, but also I was thinking that Lily, I mean, I think she was definitely thinking for her daughter more, because she still could have had him, you know, arrested or pressed charges, and she chose not to, which I think shows how big of a person she really is. And she's lucky that Atlas like actually did come back to Boston where he could find her. And then Atlas is lucky that in the end, like, you know, and I like that there was that year gap, because I think in a different meeting we were mentioning that she would need time to kind of be comfortable with herself before jumping back in with Atlas. So then he was lucky that the time passed and she was ready, you know, and she never got back together with Ryle.
I think it was 3 months.
Oh, I thought it was a year for some reason, but
I thought it was longer than 3 months. I thought it was like more like
9 or something like that. Yeah, it was like closer to a year.
She moved out when Emerson was 3 months. So I don't know how old she was when.
She got her own little
Later.
apartment or something, yeah. Because it says like, oh, we moved out, and it's like we've been on our own, and like they've like, kind of mastered co-parenting and stuff. Like they were friendly.
Yeah, I like that too, that she didn't have to move out like right away. That
Mm-hmm.
seemed like they were a good, bond. Just like she was able to stay with and get his help for the first 3 months.
Definitely.
I'm surprised you didn't mention when Judith that the title of the book came out when she was
Mhm.
talking to her daughter. Because
Oh,
you always say like, oh, the title was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
that was really
Yeah,
It was right at
that
the
was
end.
really
huh?
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like the last thing.
Love when that specific line is mentioned in the book, because it's like, oh, that's why you came up with that. I think it was right at the end, right before the
I
epilogue.
think, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was like the last page or something.
That's when I was like, oh, beautiful.
It literally is the last 4 words.
Huh?
It's like
Yeah.
it stops here with me and you. It ends with us.
It was powerful. I feel like it was a lesson to the audience as well to try to break whatever, generational cycles of trauma or abuse that we have. Even if it's something small, you could always improve and you could always let go of stuff from your childhood or things that people put upon you or things that your family say to you, There's always something.
Yeah. And I like that we got to see that she at first was like, my mom should have left, my mom should have left. And then she kept going like, oh, now I'm my mom, but I love him and I want to stay, but I know this is wrong. And because obviously a lot of the people who aren't in these abusive relationships, that's how we're thinking. So it's kind of nice to see that and then see how she went through it and then still pick the right choice.
It's a big contrast to Verity, where she kind of ended up with what's his face, Jeremy, and we didn't know if he was bad or he wasn't. Whereas this one, it was in a sense more realistic to me because it was based on her own life. So I did like that it ended in that more positive way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's just overall had a really good theme and message.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this would be like a good book to like, I don't know, have like, I mean, it's not considered YA, but it kind of like the way it's written, it's so easy to read that like I could see like a young person reading it, and I feel like it would be like a good book to read to kind of like, it's not super complex, but it's like talking about some actual like really important deep issues, but like it's kind of like very easy to read, but like it has a message, and I don't know, I thought it was like a very like, it's tackling really tough issues, but it was not it was still kind of like I don't know, I don't want to say like simplified because that's like, maybe that's, I meant like it has like a message and you can understand the message, and like that's like a good thing in this way. So even if you're like a young person, you haven't like really been in a relationship yet, I feel like this is like a good book to read to like, I don't know,
That's
like
one of
it
the
could
things
help
understand
women.
that.
I saw about this book, that everyone's like, everyone has to read this book. It's so good. And obviously they don't mention like it's going to be about domestic violence from the intro, right? I think they don't.
I don't think so at all. I think it was like framed as just like a rom-com.
Exactly. And I love that they bring that in. And like you said, they don't make it too complex, even though it is a complex theme and just situation. And I was just looking at, because I thought you were going to say that it seemed like it'd be a good movie or show.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, because you were saying the whole
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah. And I looked it up, and it is going to be a movie. And
Of course. Every book we read.
Yeah, it might be the one that's like creating it. So I think it's going to be good.
Oh, I just recently, I don't know why that reminded me, but I just recently saw the movie, what is it called? It has Lucy Hale in it.
Oh, The Hating Game?
Yeah, I read the book and I hated it.
Oh, I loved that book. I really liked it.
It was just like so repetitive to me. Like, oh, they're going back and forth. They're going back and forth. Just like to talk to each other. I was like, get over it. And then when I saw the movie, I thought it was so cute.
Yeah, I thought the movie was all right. I liked the book better. The movie was cute. It definitely felt like they filmed it during COVID though,
Yeah,
because
because
it was
nobody was
like
really
very
touching.
scaled down.
Yeah.
But I liked the cast. Like I liked the two leads. I didn't like that they changed the end. Like where they made it seem like he was, you know what I mean? Like
like
the ending
sweet.
was like
He
in a
was so
different
sweet,
place.
like yeah. No. Ramon, I thought you were gonna come. He like looks at me like he wants to snuggle and then he runs away.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I like that author. I've read like 3 of her books. I hated one of them, and I liked Hating Game, and I liked the one she just did, Second First Impressions. I liked that one too.
What author?
Anyway, yes, I did see that too. You guys want a good rom-com type thing?
Was
Well,
the name of it?
There's Sally Thorne.
Yeah, Sally Thorne.
Sorry, I had to go run for my charger. Once it says it's low on battery, it used to last until it said like 1%, and I would have like literally 10 minutes, and I'm like, bless. But yesterday it said 11%, and it just blacked out, and I'm like, no, it's gonna say that right now, but it. Oh, okay. Sally Thorne?
Yeah.
Oh, the Hating Game.
You know, one of the reasons I might have liked it is it had a really good audiobook narrator.
Maybe I'll
really?
really
I couldn't listen to
Yeah.
it. Her voice was
Yeah,
like
I thought she was really
squeaky.
good. I really liked it.
It was like, nah.
Crystal's like, hell fucking no.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know. She's just I was just like when I first started, I was like, what the fuck is this?
I thought it
Her
had
voice
like
is like
character.
very
I thought it had
squeaky.
character. I think that's why I liked it. Like it was
Yeah.
kind of like it had a character to it. I guess that's what I thought.
This is why I like book club, because we might have similar interests, we might have different ones, and then look at that. You like it's not like, it's that's hilarious. I'm gonna
That's so funny.
I wanted to show you guys something. Speaking of similar interests, I follow San Jose Public Library on Instagram, and they posted their top 5 books checked out in 2021. And I thought you guys needed to see this.
It's all the ones we
Oh
read.
wow.
3 of 5 are ones that we read.
Barack Obama.
My husband's
Yeah, number
reading that.
3.
Oh yeah.
The Obama one. He's still not finished with it, I don't think. It's really long.
We haven't done a biography yet, or autobiography.
I'd be down to
I-
reread Becoming.
Is that Michelle Obama?
Amazing.
You
I
never
cried.
let me read it.
That one's powerful, yeah.
There's this one that
No, you know which one's really good? Matthew McConaughey's Green Light. That one's also really good.
Diane Guerrero's book also, that one like made me cry several times.
there's this one book, I don't know the name of it, but it's black and white or like gray, and it has a face, and I see everyone talk about it that book destroys them, and I don't know if it's an autobiography though, but no, it's, I'll have to look it up and then I'll let you guys know, but everyone's like, the most recent post I've seen was, you know how they have the libraries like outside like a post, and then you leave a book and then you get a book kind of thing?
Yeah, the Little Free Libraries. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one person left that book and they're like, why would you do that? You are a horrible soul, and like that's such a book that's mean. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this book? But it's a pretty big one. I just don't know what it's called. But I'll get back to it. Out of our books for this year, which would you pick as your top?
I have to refer to the bookmark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Top how many?
I don't know. You want to do
This
top?
is 11, right? Because we
Yeah,
skipped
we did.
July, I think.
You want to do top 3, top 5?
It was hard. I was trying to pick a favorite the other day and I couldn't. Want to try again?
I think we all like different ones differently though.
Yeah.
I think this one, well, which ones did we all collectively really like? This one.
I think so. Mm-hmm. Collectively, yeah.
I think
All the Ugly and Wonderful Things was pretty good too, I thought, though. I felt like we all liked that one.
Yeah, I like that one, and I like Misery a lot.
I also like Misery.
I did
I
not.
liked Misery.
It's okay.
That's why I'm like.
I love the Midnight Library. I thought that one was really cute.
The Midnight
Yeah.
Library was good.
Mexican Gothic was also really
Yes.
good.
Oh yeah, that was good. It was creepy, but it was good.
Mhm.
It is hard. It is hard because it's like different. Like
I'm not gonna say Song of Achilles because I had already read it, so I'd consider that as a non-2021 book. But I think actually my favorite is The Firekeeper's Daughter, which I don't think is anyone else's favorite.
Yeah,
But
you finished that
I still
book.
have to finish reading that one. It's still there. I don't know why I
Yeah.
never finished it. And it was one of mine.
yeah, it didn't finish.
Well, that's right. I think that's where a lot of people were
Yeah.
in and out and not really.
Yeah,
I
Because it
think
was,
I don't know what happened that month. Maybe I was busy too, and I just never got back to it.
I think it was like summer.
yeah, it was summer. Because
That's why.
I remember I was
Yeah.
running with Crystal and I was listening to it,
Yeah.
trying to, get something in, and it was hard. It was hard for me.
I liked Misery a lot too. I definitely know what my least favorite book was.
Which one?
It Happened One Summer. I hated it.
Oh.
I hated it so much.
They're all so different. It's hard
I
to
think I
pick.
liked everything else. There's only one book I actively disliked, and that was It Happened One
What?
Summer.
I
All the
love
books,
that
which one did you
one.
hate the most?
I
You
love
hated
Hallmark
Happy One
movies.
Summer, right? Did you hate one? You were just like,
Well, Firekeeper's Daughter, I couldn't finish. I didn't hate it though.
Yeah, that one's probably my least favorite.
The Firekeepers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
I couldn't keep up with it.
out of these, I would pick a book that I would want to keep coming back to, where I was like really curious and I kept thinking about what would happen next. And if it's based on that, I would say probably It Ends With Us, and then Mexican Gothic and Misery or Verity, kind of. But those are more the suspenseful ones, I think.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that kind of have our
That's
wheels
how
turning
they
in terms of
did.
predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it keeps you like, you try to think of different predictions like throughout the week. Huh. But wait.
Yeah, like Firekeeper's Daughter, we had a lot to talk about,
It had so
and
much.
then because it's kind of a mystery. And
I
then
feel
Midnight Library too, we had a lot to talk about with that.
But I also liked Mexican Gothic, Firekeeper's Daughter, and those two, and Infinite Country, just in terms of like talking about people who are not often talked about or depicted in media, you know?
We should make this our logo.
I made a rose for Judith and her romance. So that's what the rose was selected for.
Did you draw this?
No, I did not.
I was like, oh my god.
It's a program, I have to admit, it's fairly easy to use. So I just kind of threw in some text boxes in there and created the design. Rico helped me print them and glue them. And I have a little machine, a tiny little like just punch thing that I use to round the corners. But everyone has different corners because I was trying to see like which one did I like the best, and there's 3 different styles. So some are rounder and then some are more of like a tight little round corner.
I think my top 3 would be It Ends With Us. I think then it's gonna be Everything I Never Told You. And this was hard. I'll say All the Ugly and Wonderful Things because it wasn't my first pick of a book to read myself, but I kind of liked where it ended up and all the stuff we were going through.
It was very different. That one was certainly very different than all the other books we read.
So those are my top 3. My least is Misery. Honestly, Misery or The Firekeeper's Daughter, but I think I might have to go with Misery because The Firekeepers at some point was, it was giving me some interest, and it was just long. Very long.
Yes, with Stephen King, it's so interesting because I'm reading another one of his books right now, and this one just came out, the one that I've been putting on Snap. And this one like is set in modern times. So now everyone has Macs and smartphones, and like compared to like what we read in Mystery. But I think the vibe is definitely very different, and it's not as scary, it's more suspenseful. But it's just interesting because we like The Shining so much, and I did really like Misery too, but I could tell I liked it much less than The Shining. So it's just, I wonder if some of his are just like they're either like really, really good or like kind of like okay because he's written so many, you know?
I when I get on the reviews, like when I read multiple reviews on his books, most of them are like, oh, it's either a hit or it's a miss. I'm actually reading another Colleen Hoover book. I'm reading Ugly Love right now.
I saw that on your guys' Goodreads.
I'm like about halfway.
I'll save some for another book club though.
I want to read more.
Author. Colleen Hoover is only repeat author for us right now, so we'll have to save one of her books for next year.
She has so many.
Yeah.
Oh, she does? Okay, I didn't know that.
And when I saw all that she has, I'm like, why didn't I come across Colleen before? I'm like, oh my goodness, she has one that's like something about perfects and The Ugly Love, and there's like 3 other ones that I'm like,
There's a new one coming out.
oh, there is?
Oh shit, I forgot what it's called, but I saw on her page.
I'm gonna follow her on Instagram now.
They just keep appearing everywhere, and I'm like, girl, who are you? How did I not know you? It's pretty good.
Yeah, my influencer friend, she's obsessed with her now, and she asks her people on Instagram, like, which one should I read next?
Oh my god.
So yeah, the 2 we read, and then Ugly Love. I think it's November 9.
Yes, November
And then
19.
there was another one. I think it was like Layla or something. Like it was one I hadn't heard of before, but that was what was recommended. It's like some name like that.
Yeah, I had seen other people talk about it, and they were like, oh my goodness, this is one of my favorites out of Colleen's. I'm trying to read all her books. And I'm like, all her books? How many are those? And there's a lot. Layla. There's one called Layla.
Okay, yeah, I think that was it.
Like, I don't know if you can see all that. Yeah, the brightness don't know.
Good to know.
I do
Yeah, I'll be
still kind
reading
of want
some
to
of her books,
read.
too.
Look at that. There's so many. I'm just like, geez.
I kind of want to read the sequel to that. It Happened One Summer, though, even though it wasn't my favorite.
I feel like I would like the other sister better for some reason. She seems more down to earth.
For who?
Yeah.
For It Happened One Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the new one.
The Achilles
Less
song was
superficial.
my least. Yeah, the
The
Achilles song was my least favorite.
Which one?
Song of Achilles.
The Song of Achilles was my least favorite.
Yeah.
I think I couldn't get into that one either. I still haven't finished it. I want to heard
I was about to say, which ones have you not finished, Eileen?
Firekeeper's Daughter and Song of Achilles. That's it. Obviously, I didn't read Mystery.
Oh, that's right.
I
I was gonna
joined
say you
'cause
didn't
I was
even do
like,
Misery.
I already missed 2 books. I can't.
Oh
keep
yeah,
up.
but you were able to do Verity in between, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Because when they're good, they're easier to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would probably, if it's like I'm not including it because I already read it, but Song of Achilles would be
You number one?
yeah, but
thought it
I'm
was
not
really good.
including it. I'm not including it because I had already read it.
I thought it was pretty good.
You should read her Madeline Miller's other one, Circe, which I think is even better. It's really, really good.
I've
I'll
seen
read it.
It reminds me of that.
If you like Greek mythology.
Wasn't
I
it Book of the
love
Month?
mythology.
Like the Book of the Month, like last year or something like that? Like the Book of the Year.
I think it came out last year, like the year
Yeah.
before that. Yeah.
I think it was.
But yeah, it was a good book. Let's see.
I think we should just make this our logo.
This is the book of the month?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it was the book of the month. I don't know when.
Oh.
That is a fat
gonna get my other
book,
book.
Peter.
What was that?
That is a fat book. Is that the one we're reading next?
Yeah.
She's thick.
Well, I think she is a little thick. I like to remove those.
I'm downloading it right now. Or I'm purchasing it right now.
So because I'm
12 hours.
I'm a member, and I got, the font is tiny.
Yeah, usually it's 12 hours. That sounds like a really long time.
12 and a half hours.
12?
12 and a half hours
Oh God.
on Audible.
Oh my gosh. So while I was in in my quarantine. I watched mostly movies, and I was supposed to read, or I was trying to read, but I didn't until the end. I got into The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Oh, I read that. I think
Yeah.
Julie was reading it too in her other
Yes.
club.
Oh my God, that was so good.
My best friend read it, and she's like, it's so slow in the beginning, because she was telling me about it when she was reading it, and she's like, no, but I feel like you would love it. So she let me borrow it, and I've had it for, I want to say, like a few months now. I'm like, okay, let me read it now. And it looks like this. It literally is tiny font. And I'm like, shoot, because I haven't opened this book, but as soon as I opened it, I was like, damn it, it's tiny font and it's a lot of pages. So it's going to be a long one.
Yeah, I like the audiobook.
Yeah, I have the audio.
It was, yeah,
that's all I listened to. Is the audiobook.
that,
But it was good.
yeah, that audiobook was like 17 hours. So it was like a quarter longer than this one's only 12.
I do feel though that book was like a little repetitive, and honestly could have used like an editor. They could have cut out like a good chunk of it. Like if you had the patience for it, like it was a good story, but some of it was just honestly like a little repetitive, I felt. Julie, did you agree or no?
Yeah, and I liked the beginning. I liked the concept, but then the end got all weird too. Like,
yeah, it's not a conclusive ending.
Oh, great.
I almost think it's like leaving it for a sequel type of situation.
I see.
Well, I don't know. We should read it for this.
So should I stop? I'm just kidding.
You're gonna read it again, Julie? 17-hour audiobook.
Yes. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is 324 pages. I'm gonna cut it here. This is a historical note, and then it's author's notes, which I think people can read if they want.
Yeah.
So I'll cut it here.
Oh, there's a historical note too.
Do you guys want to go back to Sunday meetings, or are you okay with the Wednesdays?
I kind of like Wednesdays because I feel like Sundays are usually like family days. Like,
I'm okay with Wednesdays too.
Can we do 8:30? I just get home so late that I barely have time to eat.
I could do 8:30 either day.
I can do 8:30.
Okay. And I was asking because January has 5 Sundays, and then obviously the Wednesdays would be 4. So I just wanted to see how much to split it into. 81 pages.
That's not bad.
We'll do the 81 pages, 80 so pages, and if it gets to be too much because the font is tiny.
It is. I hadn't opened it until just now.
Yeah. Because it is tiny, we'll see, and then if we have to cut it shorter or whatever.
I wonder, Judith, though, if it is very small, if we just break it up into 5 or 6, and then February is a short month, so we combine February with the rest of March, which is also kind of a longer month. But if we can swing it in 1 month, we also can do that.
March is 5. And February is 4. So this is chapter, so you read 10 chapters. I don't know if you want to try and do that by next Wednesday, or you want me to cut it 5 now?
I'm okay either way.
What do you think, Diane?
Maybe let's try it and see.
You can start it.
Okay.
Okay, so read 1 to 10. Don't
stop
read
at 10 or read. Oh, don't read 11.
Don't read.
Sorry,
11.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I'm so rude.
I didn't even catch it. 1 to 10. Don't read 11.
Don't read 11.
At the end, they have historical notes and the authors.
I'm gonna leave the historical note and the author's note up to you guys if you want to read it or not. I ended the count at 324 right before the historical note.
I think that's good.
Okay. Oh look, I also, while I was in New York, I found this little book. I didn't buy it there.
Wow.
I didn't buy it there. But
That's so
Cute.
book club.
The
And
baddest one.
well, it was at Strands. I got it at Amazon. If you guys want some, I guess I could send some. Look, it says,
Oh wow.
yeah, book selection and all that stuff.
That's
I
cute.
don't like pink, but I was like, it's so good. My least favorite character, my favorite character. Did I like the ending? Yes or no?
Oh, like questions that we could
And
discuss.
we have questions for the group. And then for the next meeting, we have this is this. I don't know. I think it was kind of cool. And I'm going to try and use it.
And document.
Yeah.
I was thinking of making a Google spreadsheet on the book club account. That way we could just have that reading tab too and put the genre next to it too, so we can see what we tend to go for most.
Oh, that'd be cool. If you want, yeah. Oh, and then format, hardcover, paperback, ebook, or audiobook.
Mm.
Kind of nice. So then we'll see. I also, when I read, I remember the characters in the moment, but then like a year from now, I know I'm gonna be like, I don't even know who was in that movie, in that book or whatever. So I kind of like to go back and review.
I was thinking if I ever make another bookmark, it might be cute to put either like a line, a quote from the book we liked the best, or like, I don't know, sometimes we say funny things. We could put a quote from one of the members.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like Richard. Don't go for Richards.
don't go for Richards. I got this from the Morgan Hill Library.
Love.
Oh, I saw the movie. I
I'm
think.
telling you, we gotta read 50 Shades.
Yeah, I was just reading the back and it says book club attempts to shake things up by tackling the infamous 50 Shades of Grey. And I'm like, oh my God. I haven't seen it before, so that'll be funny to watch later.
It'll inspire you. We're gonna read it.
Oh, I don't know.
What? That's so cute.
Okay. So that was It Ends With Us. And I love it that it ends our year. It ends with us. It's perfect. It was a good year of books. And I can't wait to see what happens next year.
Here's 10 more pages turned in 2022.
Wow, Karina, beautiful.
What is
Here's 2 more pages
oh
turned in
Oh.
2022.
To punny.
Chapter. Wow. All these puns. Well, have a happy new year. And
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year! Oh, the next time
Happy
we see each
New
other.
Year.
All
2022.
New Year.
Crazy.
new
Crazy.
New year.
Like
new,
it'll be 2022.
that's insane.
I feel like Christmas went by way too fast.
not even like one?
Oh, the one's
I
already
know.
on Saturday that
I
you
know.
know.
It just seems so much longer.
Yeah. Ugh, what a year. What a year.
What a year.
Reflected it was my best year. It ended horrible, but you know, it's okay. Yeah. Well, I'll see you guys. Good night.
Good night. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Crystal.